Welcome yet again to the Wally Show precast, where we get to discuss some of the things that we didn't get to on the show. Like, actually, this is something that kind of was born out of yesterday's conversation on the podcast about the podcast Serial, where it's looking at an old case and a guy who's in prison, and at the end of it, you have to decide whether he should be there or shouldn't be there. And we all kind of had different views based on the evidence that was brought forth in this podcast. But now there's a TV show based on this, Becca?
It's the Netflix version of Serial called Making a Murder, and it's about this guy who went to jail for 18 years on this one conviction. And later they found out that he didn't actually do it. So he's free from prison.
It's like DNA evidence exonerated
linked it to someone else. Exactly. And so he was released. He's in the process of suing the county and officials and all the people involved in this case when he's convicted of this murder.
Another one,
totally separate case of this photographer. And so he ended up going back to jail. And I haven't seen the show yet, disclaimer, but everyone who's seen it that I've seen on Facebook is like, there's no way he should be in jail. And now people are actually signing petitions to get this guy freed because it's a real story.
That's insane. Like, and I heard that the same people that were trying him for the rape accusation then were charging him and trying him for the murder. So then you're like, okay, are you really trying to just hose this guy and cover him up, or is this a bad guy that escaped one thing maybe you were wrong on, but he was legitimately involved with this other thing and he needs to be taken off the streets? It's a fascinating story.
I've seen the first 2 episodes.
You have?
Oh,
Betty Rock is
2 episodes.
You never see anything we talk about on the show unless it's Andy Griffith.
Usually you're just watching TV at this point.
I know. I've seen the first 2 episodes.
Really?
So I have left it off right where they, the photographer. But here's the thing.
Okay, what's your opinion so far then?
Okay, so what I get so far is, to me, he comes across as very... he comes across as like he didn't do it.
Right.
So I don't understand. And when they show, I hope I'm not doing any spoilers or anything for anyone.
No one else is watching.
He owns, what do you call it? A lot where they keep used cars. So
a used car lot?
No. You come and you pick them. Like you pick parts from them.
Oh, a junkyard.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, when he had hired this photographer lady to come and take some pictures of one of the cars that he was trying to sell. But she was one of the first visits. She had 2 more visits to go. Well, she wasn't found that same day that she went over to his house to take these pictures. But she had other scheduled appointments. So they find her abandoned car in his car lot and her keys in his house.
Oh, that doesn't look good. Yeah, that doesn't look good.
But he honestly comes across as like he's crying. The news is saying
most murderers
I know. But he.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense but then I think, well, how did this happen? I mean, her keys are in his house.
Well, because he murdered her.
But something must be a twist or a turn, because if people are signing a petition saying he didn't do it, then maybe the government, they were covering up. Not the government. What is it? The police.
UFOs. It's funny we both went there.
They were covering up a few things. Like they had known that he wasn't he didn't do the first
That's my
conviction.
See, here's
they
the
know
thing.
that.
And put them in jail for that.
Right. Well, I don't know about that. Because maybe they were trying to serve the greater good. He might have been innocent of that.
Innocent.
But he sounds like he's not an innocent person.
No, but you can't
Sure you can.
do justice like that.
Yeah, you can.
If you know someone's innocent and you still prosecute, you should be in jail.
It's the Old West. You got to do what you got to do. Sometimes you got to bend the laws a little bit.
Oh my goodness.
And our justice system should be run by petition.
And
that's a great idea.
Here's the sad thing too. He had twin boys that were born the year that he went to jail for this. So when he got out at 18 years later,
he missed their entire child. Oh,
Yeah,
and
no.
he didn't even
for
do
something
it.
he didn't even do.
Okay, now that's the thing. Like the one that he didn't do, if there's evidence that says you didn't do this, I feel bad, and he should have the chance to go after the criminal system and be compensated for that. Like that. I mean, nothing's going to truly compensate you for that, but you should be able to. But this is a whole nother thing they got him on.
I know, and but it doesn't make sense. Like and there was another thing too.
I think
that
Betty's
they found,
in love.
No. With what?
Why do you
that
jump
guy.
there?
Betty
Ew,
loves him.
no.
Yeah.
But they did find remains from her on his on his land. I know. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
so
know.
nice.
No, I'm not saying he didn't do it. But I'm not saying that he did do it. I've only watched 2 episodes. That's all I'm saying.
I haven't watched
don't
any,
know.
and I can tell you he did. Like, I can tell
someone
you.
could be framing him.
We should all watch the whole series and then come back with our opinions. Obviously, because you're basing an opinion on
Fact.
Nothing.
no, nothing.
Fact.
Nothing.
Fact,
I haven't
conjecture.
seen anything.
It doesn't matter. He did.
They could have framed him.
Who's out
And-
there framing him?
I don't
It's
know.
not a TV show.
No,
like
here's
that.
another thing.
Life
Because
doesn't
he
work that
runs
way.
this business with some of his brothers.
Right.
So they have the authority to go on this land, do whatever they want. They could have hurt this woman.
They are
not
in on
him.
it with him.
So they could have framed it.
They're in on it with him.
One, it does still needs to be proven that it's him. You can't just like take a couple coincidences and say, all right, lock
Oh
him
yeah,
up.
100%, 100%. But I always go with that smoke fire thing. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Like if this guy was around enough with this other situation that he got charged for rape, and then now there's a murder with you, and
Why
it's like,
would he do that, though?
There's
He's
smoke and
missed
fire.
so much of his family's
I know.
life, and he was mad.
So because he
them.
was falsely accused of rape, it's
Right.
more likely that he is a murderer?
No, because
That's bizarre.
Well, I know you think that's bizarre, but my point is that he still might have been in these circles with other people where bad things were happening, and so
Which could have made him be framed.
possibly. But I don't know.
Who's to say, okay, if you lived in the same town as him
Yes.
and you knew that he had been framed for this, he already looked guilty for the rape of this woman at the beginning, and he turned out innocent. He would be the easiest target to frame someone if you wanted to murder someone.
right?
Don't you
right.
think?
Right.
Like,
I
so
like-
why
That's why it
wouldn't
needs to be
you?
proven.
Oh yeah.
So why wouldn't you, if you lived in that town and you did kill this woman?
Why would you not put
wouldn't
the
you
blame
wanna-
on him?
Yeah, because he is an easy target.
I agree with you on that, but it's like it's too easy. It's too easy, and life it doesn't work like a Law and Order episode usually.
Life doesn't work like Wally pointing at the TV on every single story we see and being like, "Oh, they're guilty." Guilty.
I
know
have a
they're
gift.
guilty.
You know how Betty Rock can name
No,
cats?
you don't have
I
a
can
gift.
determine guilt and innocence.
No,
Like,
you just think everyone's guilty.
you guys are gonna feel so silly when it comes out that this guy is guilty on this, and you're gonna be like, "Oh man."
It's not that, I'm not saying that he's innocent. I'm saying it needs to be proven that he's guilty.
Yeah. Yeah,
I haven't seen the series
They
yet.
could go on my word, but I would suggest that they actually do some due process. I would. I want them to back it up for sure. I mean, or you could just do
Now,
what I say.
if they do find him guilty, can they credit the 18 years he served in prison toward his murder sentence?
Oh,
I
probably
would
not.
hope so.
Like, that seems like if you get a 30-year sentence for murder, well, you've already served 18 of it, you got 12 more.
Yeah,
That seems
boy.
fair.
But not to me. Like if he really is guilty, then yeah, you put him away forever.
They don't do that with murderers a lot, do
But
they?
that's the crazy thing
No.
about that too.
I think
Like-
the average sentence actual served is like 7 years or something like
Yeah,
Oh, my goodness.
like my brother is actually doing more time than people that have murdered people. It's crazy. I've gotten to dip my toe into the legal system a little bit, and it's a mess.
And now you're a professional.
Well, yeah, but you would think that I would be on the side. You would think, given my situation, that I would be on the side of this guy, going, "Oh, for sure, the legal system's all corrupt." I still believe in our justice system more so than any other country, but it does have flaws, 100%. And the people that are innocent that get hosed by it, it's a horrible thing.
Right. So they've done this with the rape. So why couldn't they do the same thing with the murder? They got the wrong person.
It's entirely possible, but boy, if that's the case, that is the unluckiest person on the face of the
know.
planet, and I don't believe that.
And I will say this too: that documentaries, that's what this is, are meant to paint one side of the story, and so. We're not judges. We're not a jury. We have no say in this, but it's just interesting to watch. And
We
form an
don't
opinion
even
anyway.
have the ability to get a lot
loud
of
about it.
facts, and that's why we don't even do these kind of shows, because you have to actually do research, and it's just icky. And so who wants to do that?
Icky research. He's still guilty.
Yes, exactly.
Hashtag Wally said.
Why waste our time? Talking about people that, we talk about like making judgments and stuff. There was this thing by employers that says that by looking at your Facebook, profile that they feel that they can tell a lot about you in just 10 minutes, enough to make like hiring decisions. And they kind of did a study on this with different people out of a college. So in this study, they looked at people giving people jobs, hiring people, and they felt that they could predict how well they would do in this job based on their Facebook page. And it turns out that it wasn't too far off. Like applicants were graded on traits like intellectual curiosity, conscientiousness, agreeability, and whether or not they were extroverted. And after 6 months on the job, the supervisors evaluated the candidates, and they found that the strongest correlations were for intellectual curiosity, agreeability, and conscientiousness. I would think the extrovert thing would be easy. You're always surrounded by people party. But like, to be able to look at somebody's profile and see that they're a conscientious person is kind of interesting.
Well, the people that have no grammar and run-on sentences and misspelled words compared to people that structure their posts properly, I think that would be an easy way.
Yeah, and then it's weird though. Like with those people, do you look at them as creative that don't do all the structuring, or do you look at them as ignorant? Like as a person that's hiring somebody, I would tend to look at them on they don't care enough to do English well. See how I said well and not good? They would not be a good hire. Whereas other people, it's like, it's not important to them because they are so creative and they're great at this, but they don't use periods. Who cares?
Well, it depends what you're hiring for.
Yeah.
If I'm hiring for someone to be creative, then I don't care about grammar.
Yeah.
As long as they're creative.
Yeah.
Yes and no. Yeah.
Now, if they have bad grammar and their posts are boring and uninspired, then
yeah. The other thing, though, agreeability. That was kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Like, how do you? Yes. Thank you.
What I did there?
I do see what you did there. He agreed with me, Betty.
I got it.
All right. They said that photos of you traveling show that you're open to new experiences, and a number of friends determines, or at least shows, a correlation of how extroverted you are, which that one kind of makes sense.
That makes sense. How do they show the agreeability?
It doesn't really say, actually.
Oh, I would maybe just if other people post like positive things about you, or...
Yeah, or you're not out there stirring up trouble.
Yeah,
that would be it.
That's
where Facebook is a gold mine for people that are just a pain.
Yes, I have so many friends that half of their posts are drama, and the other half of their posts are complaining about the drama that they're causing.
Yeah, you and Zach both have friends that post things. They're pot stirrers. Like people that post things just to get reactions.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing because it's good for friends to challenge each other to think.
No, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Well, okay, this is why.
An unexamined life is not worth living, right?
Stop.
Who said that?
I don't remember.
That's a good quote, though.
It is.
Good try.
Ben Franklin.
Abraham Lincoln.
Jesus.
Yes.
The friends that post things though that like stir up the pot, like they post these articles that are poorly written, don't make any good points. I had a friend post something the other day, and the point she was making wasn't something that I necessarily agree or disagree with, but the article was so poorly written, I just wanted to be on the opposite side of it.
Really?
Like that's how she was stirring the pot, with something that was just poorly proven facts and not good grounds to stand on.
The ones that drive me crazy are the people that just forward things that don't do any research, even though the headline is obviously ridiculous. You know, and it's always something about Christians' rights being taken away and God being taken off of money and things like that. It's always something like that. And there's sometimes you see people that you like and they just forward something like, oh, not you.
Yeah, yes.
Because I judge people like that. I judge that as a sign of intelligence. If you're going to just blindly forward something that especially has like faith connotations to it and you're not going to do any sort of research on that, I see that as ignorant. I actually don't hang out with people like that.
There are so many times I'll see an article on Facebook and I'll be like, that's an interesting story. Let me do a 2-second Google search. Oh, look at that. It's not real.
Yeah, exactly. Snopes. Just snope some things, and that'll save you a lot of headaches. All right, well, I guess that's going to have to do it for the precast. I just looked at the time. We're running a little bit long here. And Becca has to get out of here to start her second vacation of the last couple weeks.
Ridiculous.
A, I have some time. B, stop being bitter. C, it's my anniversary, so give me a break.
Later on in the show, during the podcast, you'll hear us talking about things that cause arguments at work. And one of them was somebody brought up vacation time. And then I think like somebody taking vacation this quickly in the beginning of the year is definitely a problem.
No, it's not.
For some of the people on the show, not for me.
Guys, let's
technically you haven't earned the vacation days yet.
Yeah.
They accrue
Exactly.
throughout the year,
You
but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody were to call HR,
Let's paint this picture really quickly.
Betty.
Back when I found out about this opportunity to travel with my husband on our anniversary,
Right.
to go with him to a work gig
Right.
for 2 quick days,
right?
I came to you and I said, you can say no.
Right.
You can say no.
I
If you
didn't-
want to say no, say
Have
no.
you not learned, Becca, though, that he likes to say yes to things as long as he can hold it over your head and use it as
No, not
blackmail?
true.
It.
I didn't feel like I could say no to her anniversary. Like as a guy, like you can't say
You're saying no to
that.
it right now. You're making fun of her.
Oh no! I'm not
Yes,
saying
you
no.
are.
No, she's still going. She's still going.
Oh,
and we're
so
happy
because
for
she's
her.
still. Oh,
We're
okay.
happy for her.
I'm not
Let's talk about
sensing
how
happiness.
much time you take off.
I still have a couple days to burn from last year.
You don't get those still.
I know, so
They're gone.
I wasted them.
I know
so.
you have way more vacation time than I do.
I know, and I don't use it all
You need to
because I
spend
want to be
time
fair.
with your wife.
Yeah.
You're always gone.
I'm always gone.
Yeah.
Does your
I'm
daughter
never
even
here
know
for me,
who you
Dad.
are?
Yeah, exactly. I've gone the same time
Haley
as
doesn't
you.
even know she has a dad.
I take one extra. I get one extra week of vacation, but other than that, we all try to take the same time off.
I'm just trying to
You're grasping at
focus on
straws.
me. Yes.
Now, are you doing anything fun on the vacation? Because you're going to New York.
Yes. So the artist that my husband's traveling with is going to be on Seth Meyers. I don't know what it's called. Late show, late night with Seth Meyers.
That's
It's
fun,
called
though.
After Jimmy Fallon
Yes.
with
Yeah, with that
Seth
guy.
Meyers.
On Wednesday. And so when he presented it to me, he's like, bummer, I got to leave on your anniversary. Sorry. And then we looked at our points and we're like, oh, we can go together. So we don't
Nice.
really have anything extra planned. I get to go to the taping, which is cool.
That will be fun.
Yeah. But I think I might be bumming around by myself in New York City for a day. So
A whole day?
yeah, probably.
Oh man.
Because the taping isn't until like 5:30 and Joey will be working. And
There's enough stuff that if you just walk around New York for a little while, like walk down to a couple things, you've started sewing, go down to Mood from Project Runway.
Just off Times Square, there's a really good Applebee's.
Yes.
My first trip into New York, the people I went made us go to Applebee's.
Yeah.
I'm like,
That's-
are you? I was so mad.
Yeah, it's like I could go to Applebee's in Spring Hill.
If I wanted to pay $20 for a meal at Applebee's,
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, you gotta find those local places.
Yeah.
The best place to do that is when you're going down the main streets, the avenues. Is go to the side streets. That's where all the smaller little hole in the wall places.
really the
are.
alleys.
Yes, yeah,
The dark alleys.
ones. Yeah, you said you were going by yourself, right? This ought to play out fun.
Another tip I've heard is to strap rolls of cash to you so
Yes.
people know you're serious.
Yeah.
But yell it too.
Yes.
Yes.
Just to scare them away. I have cash. I have $1,000.
Wait, you really do?
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
Betty Rock, you've been to New York. Do you have any
Yes.
advice for her?
The Rat Man. He's an interesting man. That was the first thing we saw when we got to New York.
kept
It's
her-
this man that he has pet rats and he dyes their fur and he does tricks with
That's
them.
adorable.
No, it's not.
I went to New York in high school, and it was a chaperone trip, and we had to wear like frumpy skirts the entire time.
Oh,
But we did
that's
all the
terrible.
fun touristy things. It was a good trip, but I'm kind of excited to go, and they're not telling me to,
Oh
go
no,
somewhere.
New York's fun. I wish you were
Yeah.
going to get to take in a show. I know your schedule's
I
not
wouldn't
gonna
wanna
do
go by
that.
It's a really
myself,
tight
though.
time period. It's just a little bit by myself.
Yeah, you got to eat off the hot dog carts. Those are the best.
Like eat right off of them?
Yes,
Like,
eat off, yes, lick
and
them.
then lick the street?
Yes.
Okay.
No, the hot dog cart, because New York's expensive. Like
Yeah.
every time you're going to eat anywhere, it's stupid expensive. But eating off of the carts is affordable, and it's actually pretty good. There's a falafel cart every 5 feet.
And there's
for
a
some
couple
reason.
places you can get pizza for like $1 or $2 a slice.
Yes,
That's really good. Find one of those and just go crazy.
That's what we found a place that's $1.50 with a slice of pizza and a Coke. And so like we do that all the time. Like we'll eat there like that a lot. But it's not Ray's Pizza. Ray's Pizza is expensive. It's good, but it's expensive. So anyway, enjoy your time off.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, that's going to have to do it. Becca's got to get out of here because I think if we covered this, she's leaving us
Yeah.
Stop.
this early again.
Socrates, by the way, is who said in Unexamined Life.
'Cause you
Just wanted to
Googled
save.
it.
Just wanted to save some emails.
Because you know it off the top of your
No,
head.
I just wanted to save other people the time from having to email and inform
No
us.
one cared.
No, I cared, actually. I think that was kind of interesting. I like Socrates. So there
He's
you
so
go.
great. That's so great.
Yes.
So cray.
Wow. You guys, you going to leave on that one? Nicely done. We might still have a chair for you when you get back.
Oh.
All right, that is going to do it for the precast here. On with the podcast. Hey, it's the Wally Show. Who's this?
Hey, this is Josh, Wally. I have to say that I had a dream about you last night. It sounds kind of weird. You're
Yep.
in the dream, and and I heard a voice. It was an unspeakable voice. I just knew exactly who it was because you have a very unique voice, kind of bright, a little nasal, really good, projects well. And I turned around and I said, Wally, and he said, hey, and you high-fived me, and I woke up. But I felt like a new man. So I just wanted to say thank you.
Fantastic. Hopefully you'll have better dreams tonight.
Yeah, right.
See you, man. This is the Wally Show, and I've been a little under the weather lately, and we're traveling to Africa coming up here like next week. That's coming up fast. And so I didn't want to be sick on a plane, so I did the unthinkable and went to the doctor, which I never do. I have a new doctor, and I showed up, and he goes, because I've only seen him one other time after the old doctor left and he took over the practice, and he was like, yeah, I kind of pegged you for a guy I might see once a year. I'm like, normally that's the case, but I'm traveling, so I want to make sure I'm okay and that I don't have meningitis, because I looked on WebMD, think I might have meningitis. He confirmed I do not have meningitis.
Oh, good, wonderful. So what everyone else knew.
You have the flu.
Yeah, I had the flu basically.
Ooh.
Yeah, had it. It's done. It's over.
Oh.
He didn't even give me medicine. Like, I walked out of there without even a Z-Pack, which is that's pretty amazing.
The lesson here is never ever go to the doctor ever again.
Yeah, that was my takeaway.
It was a waste of money.
Totally.
Yes,
and time.
especially when Hope, who volunteers here, came in with essential oils. Like, I know people love these things and they're really into essential oils, and so I was kind of glad the doctor didn't give me anything, because I wanted to try one of the ones that she gave me, and I wanted to see if it worked, but I wouldn't know if it worked if I was taking Western medicine, and stuff. And so when he didn't prescribe me anything, I was very excited about that. So I put the essential oil on, and it was supposedly for your stop giggling. It was supposedly for like your chest to help you not be as congested. How that works, I have no idea.
Did it work?
I slept well, so maybe I coughed a little, but I would have coughed a little with anything.
I don't smell you, so I'm not sure that you're wearing enough.
I went through that little bottle. I'm not sure how much we're supposed to put on those things. I've heard it's like a couple drops.
I've heard you're supposed to douse yourself in it.
Well,
like one bottle
yes.
is one serving, basically.
That's kind of where I ended up, because I took a little dab and I couldn't even hardly feel on my finger, and I rubbed it on my chest, and I'm like, a little more. Pretty soon, I'm just like bathing in essential oil. Yeah, I could have oil wrestled myself. So yeah, thank you. But I think I might have overdone it. But I feel great today. So maybe that thing.
Once again, never trust a doctor.
Yeah, maybe there's something to those oily things. Yeah, I mean, I could win a grease pig contest. Like, you'd never catch me. I could run through this place.
You'd be the pig?
Yeah, of course. You guys couldn't catch me if you had to today. I'd slip right through your arms, but I definitely feel better. This is the Wally Show, and the new season of The Bachelor kicked off last night, and I'm actually hopeful for this season, and it all comes down to who they choose to pick for The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. Like, last season they had Caitlyn, and the season was raunchy because that's kind of how she was, and she allowed things, she actually encouraged things to go in different directions. And the season before that, I think they had some I think they really got salacious and they were focusing on the raunchy. Well, this time they've picked this guy, Ben Higgins,
yeah.
And he was the nice guy in one of the seasons that didn't make it, and so they've got this guy that seems to have morals and faith and all this other stuff, and so it's like, oh, this could be kind of a redemptive season, because it seems to go in cycles.
Yeah, for sure, because like we said, the past couple have been a little bit more salacious, but my hope is that it kind of gets back to the days of Emily the Bachelorette, who was the mom, and it was just kind of a sweeter season and an easier season to watch.
I do think what happens is they'll have a season like that, and it does, it's not like it tanks or anything, but then producers get bored or whatever, like, the people are boring, so they juice it up, and then they have a couple bad seasons, and now they're back on that pendulum of, I think this is a good one. The girls they picked last night, when they got out of the limo, had some of the worst gestures.
Oh my goodness! Did you see with the unicorn head?
That was the one that was the weirdest. Like, there was no reason for it whatsoever.
There was a girl with a unicorn head?
Yeah, she wore a unicorn head. to make a difference or to
mask.
stand out.
Like
So
a
he couldn't
scary
see her
mask.
He couldn't see her face at all.
Right.
Did she ever take it off?
Yeah, she
of
did.
course.
And then had no reason for why she was wearing it. Like that, if you're going to wear a unicorn head, have a funny
You're
reason.
trying to stand out, though,
Right.
and you need a topic to talk about when you
Yes.
first see them. So I kind of get it.
One
Hey, how
girl-
about that unicorn head?
Yeah.
I don't know.
One
Yeah.
girl only spoke Russian the entire time. Like
Never heard her speak English.
I think she made it through.
I
Like,
think so, too.
yeah, because he gave her the rose. She goes, "Da." Oh, that one annoyed
Does
me.
she know English?
Yes, of course she does. She just spoke that to be again. All these
different.
girls are doing everything they can to stand out, And so there's a lot of craziness, and kind of going back to the morality of it. And I really hope they keep that, because the guy Ben was talking with some of the other bachelors, and I saw this earlier in the day before the show, and I was curious if the show would match what he said, because he was trying to balance out the scenarios that happen inside of this where you're kissing all these girls and it's that's a weird thing, actually. And so he was talking to some of the other bachelors about how to handle that.
You're sometimes kissing somebody, and then you're walking like to the next woman, and you might kiss her as well.
It feels kind of weird in the beginning.
I was gonna say, do you get used to that? Because for me right now, I'm thinking like processing that, and I can't comprehend how I could do that.
Yeah, and so you're going, okay, now does he get in that situation and become somebody different? But it was cool because this one girl, Lace, who, by the way, is a little cray-cray, was like, close your eyes. And he closed his eyes, so she kisses him. She's like, okay, I got the first kiss. Then she's like, oh, that wasn't really good. She gets the one-on-one time. She's like, I want to kiss you again. And he stops her.
Yeah.
Which was impressive. Look
Yeah.
at Betty. Betty just fell in love.
Oh, I like him.
No, because
Yeah.
that's that. Like you were saying, it's one thing to say that ahead of time, but then
Right.
to actually follow through when you have this beautiful woman sitting next to you asking to be
Oh, I
kissed.
know.
Yeah, and he still says, "No, I don't want to focus on the physical up front. I just want to get to know everybody first." I was like, I like this guy. This could be a good season.
Yeah, so we'll see how it plays out. But that girl that asked him for that kiss was crazy, like and needy, and it was sad.
Really?
Oh yeah, because like she goes through that and then has to have another conversation with him about that because they got interrupted.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, very needy.
Oh no, it gets worse. At the end, like she was like, after he gives her the last rose, she pulls him aside and is like, "You didn't make eye contact with me once during the rose ceremony."
Whoa,
yeah.
he needs to get rid of her
Yeah.
fast.
Betty, you need to catch up. And Zach, are you even listening?
No, not at all.
Yeah, he's out. Yeah, but like, yeah, he should. That moment, he should have sent her home. He right then and there should have been like, "All right, you're showing your crazy side, man. Thank you. Whoop, goodbye." But she made it another round, so we'll see. Hopefully, this season will be a lot more redemptive for The Bachelor.
They say it's smart not to talk about religion or politics.
He's the logic vacuum.
Well, we've never been that smart. It's the Wally Show News.
And Becca is going to get you caught up right now. What's going on?
President Obama will officially be announcing his executive action on gun control today. It'll include expanded background checks, like most people speculated, but it would also provide funding for gun safety research and mental health care to kind of go along with
Some of the
gun
byproducts
yeah, exactly.
of the problems with guns. Okay, well, it'll be interesting to see what all is completely in that thing. But, those sound like decent things to put with it.
They do. I would agree with that. But Republicans have already vowed to undo it. Especially, I think they're more upset that this is an executive action instead of going through the
Right.
due process of law.
Yeah, that's the biggest issue on that is like just being able to set aside the way we're supposed to do it to be like,
Right.
I can do this.
Exactly.
I would love to have a couple executive orders. I wonder how many you can do before people start calling you on them. Like, can you do like 8 of them, and if like 4 stick, you're like, it was kind of fun.
You should try some on the show.
Oh, I could do that. I have executive orders.
You shouldn't try some on the show.
Betty, rub my feet. Executive order.
No.
Nuts.
Did it work as well?
Is it that easy if the Republicans tried that? No.
No matter how obvious it may seem, some people just don't understand the concept of thinking things through before you post on social media. A woman in Indianapolis was irate when the server brought her check late at a restaurant on New Year's Eve. It turns out someone in the restaurant had had a heart attack and had actually passed away, so that slowed the night down for everybody. But this woman was so upset, she posted, "Having our meal ruined by watching a dead person being wheeled out from an overdose. My night has been ruined. We were screaming screamed at and had the manager walk away from us while we were trying to figure out our bill being messed up. He also told us someone dying was more important than us being there, making us feel like our business didn't matter.
Oh my
Whoa.
goodness! Like, because at some point I was thinking maybe she didn't know the whole story and went off half-cocked.
Nope.
Oh no, she knew it all.
She knew it.
Had all the facts, and wow.
And just assumed it was an overdose, but it was a heart attack. Someone had a heart attack.
That is unbelievable. That is
Yeah.
a person that's very, from that post, seems very ultimately self-absorbed. And you have to wonder if she would read this post the next day under cooler head and go, yeah, I probably should have taken out all of that.
Well, her boss read the post and fired her from her job.
No!
Yes.
Is that
really?
even possible? I mean,
I guess. I didn't think
is that lawful?
Yeah, like those two things shouldn't really go hand in hand. I mean,
Unless she's been causing that same trouble at her workspace.
Possibly.
or unless you're in a public thing, because like if I did something stupid online, I could be fired because it makes the company look bad. So
Maybe.
yeah, I don't know. That seems weird.
He
to
was
be
a
fired for
boss
that.
itching for an excuse to fire her.
That's
Yes,
what it
there it
sounds
is.
like. Yeah.
And finally, when something is stolen from you, it's a relief when the issue is resolved and the person is caught. But that wasn't enough for one woman who had her credit card number stolen by a barista in the Starbucks drive-thru. After the cops caught the thief trying to use the card at a store, the woman returned to the drive-thru to confront her.
So we got you on camera yesterday at Ralph's for $212. So just know that the cops are coming up here. So do you know what you did, right? Before I pressed charges and everything on you. So what are you sorry about? That you took money from me and my kids? What are you sorry about?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Next. That's kind of like gutsy.
But the interesting thing is that she actually didn't end up pressing charges. She just wanted to kind of shame her with this video. And
Really?
in front of everybody at the Starbucks.
That's interesting. So she'll lose her job there, but maybe
Right.
she won't get arrested, and maybe, just maybe, she'll be like, all right, I'm not doing that jazz again.
It's always the hope.
Hopefully. Well, there you go. That is your news for this hour. Thank you, Miss Burker. This is the Wally Show, and it's no secret that Betty Rock does some pretty fabulous impersonations, like Sean Connery.
I'm Sean Connery.
Yes, it's nailed it.
I know.
And, yeah, and so what we wanted to do was come up with a new game because we've done impressions before on the show, and they are horrible. Like none of us, other than Betty, are good at impersonation. So what we're gonna do is to do a game called Guess the Impression. Okay, we're gonna split into teams. It'll be this team will be Becca and Zach on one team, Betty and me on the other team. And I'm sorry that we have the two best impersonators on one team. And stuff, and so
I remember you're Christopher Walken.
whoa, hey, and then it goes really badly from there. All right, so the way it's gonna work is you'll have a minute for this first round to reach into a bowl, pick up a name, and do an impersonation of them. And so you got to get as many right as you can in that 1 minute time frame. Okay,
If we don't know who the person is, then what?
you can pass.
Okay.
Okay, so if you
That
don't
won't
know.
count against me.
No.
Okay.
So now Zach and Becca, we're gonna let you go first because
Okay.
that's the fair thing to do.
I'm so excited.
And who do you want to go first in round one? Who do you think does the best impression? Because this round you
Zach.
have a longer amount of time.
Zach does a killer Bill
Definitely.
Yeah, Zach does one great impression.
So I'm just going to keep passing until I find his name.
Yeah, till you find Bill Clinton. All right, so I will count you down here, Zach.
Why do I have to go first?
Yeah, I know.
You have the ball.
Yeah, and you're the most fun with this stuff. All right.
Yes.
So on the count of three, 3, 2, 1, go. You have 1 minute.
Just passed an executive order.
President Obama.
Yep.
I can't believe he drew that one because that's actually one in his wheelhouse.
Oh, what did they say? Well, isn't that special?
A church lady.
Oh,
man. Okay.
Because sometimes part of what they say, the impression isn't great.
I'm James Bond.
Sean Connery.
Oh, man! That is unbelievable.
Let's see.
Wow, Zach's killing it so far.
And being all serious here with these wacky folks on Good Morning America.
George Stephanopoulos.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness!
Wow.
What in the world?
Geesh. Well said! These
Tom
aren't
Hanks.
even impressions.
Tom
These are
Hanks.
just saying famous
Is
things.
this minute over?
No, they still have a few more, like
gonna
10
take
more
them all.
seconds.
Great Scott, get my hoverboard!
Oh, Michael J. Fox.
Yes.
What?
Fool me once,
Time.
don't get fooled again.
Time.
I don't know.
Put that one back in. Put it back in.
Put it back in
Put it
because
back
you
in.
want it, but you know
Put
what
it back
is.
in. I don't know what it is. I have no idea what that is. Man, you ran through a
How
bunch
many
of those.
was that?
Those weren't
1,
impressions.
2,
Those are
3,
good.
4, 5, 6.
By the way,
Boom.
Sean Connery, there was a notation on there that said you couldn't say Sean Connery.
Well,
I wouldn't have known anything else.
That was impressive. All right, so you started out of the gate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right for you
Boom.
guys.
Yeah.
You didn't have to pass on any of them. Nicely done.
I know.
All right, they've set the bar high for
That
you and
was
me,
really
Betty.
good.
I think when
I'm
we
nervous.
take our turn, I'm going to let you go first because you're the best impersonator we have.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yes, and I won't blame you if we lose. I probably will. Put 1 minute on the clock, please.
All right, you
I'm
guys
not ready
ready?
yet. No, I'm not ready.
Okay, get ready.
Okay.
Come on.
3.
If you get one you don't know, you can pass.
Right. Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Ooh, pass.
Oh no. Oh, really?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, Rock.
No, that's the impression.
Oh, it's Betty Rock.
No, wait. Okay. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah.
Yeah, see if you get one. Come on, Rock.
I'm
Let's
trying.
go.
Oh,
Darth Vader.
yes.
Nice.
Brett.
Come on, Rock. Get him out of the bowl.
Oh. There's something on the wing of the plane.
William Shatner.
Yeah,
And that
nice.
was from that was from a Twilight Zone episode.
We're burning daylight. Let's get out there.
John Wayne.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, you're amazing.
Ruh-roh.
Not Astro, the other dog.
10 seconds.
Scooby-Doo. Come on, Rock.
Do you believe in love?
Share.
2, 1, time.
Wow.
That was 6, you guys.
Oh my gosh, I don't believe it.
Let's talk about the ones you passed on.
Yeah.
Okay, C390 or no?
C3PO.
Okay.
Good thing that you passed on that.
I don't know who that is. And who
Apparently.
is Julia Child?
She's a chef. Oh, first we're going to take a little bit of the chicken and we're going to
I
massage
have
the
no
chicken.
idea who that is.
Yeah, she's an old school chef.
Who is the C390?
C3PO again?
Whatever.
Yes, from Star Wars. He's the yellow guy, the robot.
Oh, yeah, the British
Yeah.
guy. Sorry. Yeah.
My heavens, Master Luke.
Oh.
What?
That was
Wow.
good. That
Thank
was good.
you.
Maybe there's hope for
Okay,
you
so
later.
this needs to be something that you keep in mind. Whatever you get, you may know it, but will I know it? Pass.
Probably not. All right. Well, we'll see. All right. So, okay, we got to go to round 2. The time shrinks down now too. So now, Zach, you are you're guessing, and Becca is doing the impressions this
Oh
time.
boy. Okay.
You only have 30 seconds in this round. So, are you ready,
This is
Becca?
tough.
I think so. I'm so nervous.
Okay. Here we go. On your mark, get set, go.
Oh, do you want some insurance? I have red lips and I sell insurance.
Flo.
Yeah.
That's not even close, but all right. It's a horrible impression.
I resign
I resign.
instead of being impeached because there's
Nixon?
scandal. Yep.
Oh my goodness. I am not a crook would have sufficed.
We're going to catch.
Running out of time.
We're going to.
2.
Catch
Sofia
one.
Vergara.
No.
Oh, no, yes, that's your go-to with her.
Jacques Clouseau, obviously.
Okay, so did you only get 2 of those?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm really bad at impressions.
I think this
really
is our
bad.
time to shine.
Betty Rock, they only got 2 right. All we need is to get 3 for the win.
Yeah.
FTW.
We could totally do
Oh,
this.
man, we killed it the first time. Give me the bowl, because we're drawing out names of people to impersonate from the bowl. So here we go. You got your
doing
clock
time?
ready?
I do. Hold on.
Okay. Only 30 seconds.
Okay, you ready?
Uh-huh.
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, Kirby!
Piggy.
Yes, that was a good one. Yes. Oh, I can't get my hand in that thing. Hey, sit on it, nerd. Hey.
Is it the Happy Days guy?
Yes. Hey.
I don't know his name.
Oh, please.
He jumped the shark.
I'm gonna jump a shark. Hey.
I don't know his name.
Pass. Oh my goodness. You know. Oh gee. Oh no.
3.
No, really?
No, what?
Pass.
Time.
No. How is that possible?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, how did you miss Miss Fonzie.
Fonzie.
Arthur Fonzarella.
Yes, I knew who he
3.
was. I just couldn't.
Oh, man.
Did we lose? We only got one?
We only got one. We got Miss
That was
Piggy.
your fault.
Miss Piggy.
That was your fault.
Miss Piggy was right on the money. Fonzie was right on the money. You couldn't get that. And
I
then
didn't know the name.
And that's my fault?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
You should have passed earlier.
Yes, I should have. Unbelievable. Well, congratulations.
No.
Yeah, what?
I mean,
That was
fine.
a little
Yeah.
better.
That was me. That was Sean Connery.
Yeah, that's the Sean Connery talking. Congratulations. I can't believe it. You guys won that, Jazz.
That's
Nicely
it's
done.
all because of Zach. He carried us.
Yeah, well, you guys did well.
And I carried my team.
To a loss.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait.
On
I
your
didn't mean it
shoulders,
by
you're
that.
right. We absolutely
I
lost
didn't mean it
because of
like
you. You're
that.
right. You propped us up. You're the best.
Who does that?
This is the Wally Show, and in life there are times when you run across people or you hear stories of the way people are behaving, and it just leaves you scratching your head. You're like, who does that? Like, who in their right mind would do that? And Becca actually got to kind of live that out a little bit, right?
I witnessed a who does that firsthand.
Yeah, because a lot of times you hear about them secondhand, but to see it is like, wow.
Yeah, and it was pretty entertaining. We were on a flight back from our vacation, and the plane was delayed, and we were sitting far enough ahead in the plane that we could kind of hear the flight attendants and the pilot talking about what was happening. Basically, there was a passenger who was complaining because a woman had boarded with her service dog, a disabled woman, and her service dog had gotten on the plane, and his seat was next to theirs. So he's throwing a fit that he doesn't want to sit next to this service dog on the plane. And so the
First of all, who does that? There's
right.
your first.
There's
who
your
does
first
that.
one. But the flight attendants are kind of going back and forth. They're like, okay, sir, well, there's a middle seat back in the back of the plane. It's a full flight. That's all we have.
Now, where were they putting the dog? Like, they didn't have to sit on his lap or
No,
anything,
the dog
right?
they're in the bulkhead, so the dog was on the floor, had plenty of space just
you
in
still
front of
have
the
leg
girl.
room there.
Exactly. He was not in any
not
way
imposing on
bothered
him.
exactly by the dog. So he's like, no, I got my aisle seat. I want my aisle seat. I don't want a middle seat. Can't you just bump me up to first class?
Oh, the first class bumper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the flight attendants start going back and forth with him, telling him, sir, I'm sorry, you can't. You can pay $500 to upgrade if you want. And he's like, I didn't buy a seat next to this dog. You need to bump me up to first class. He's
Wow.
getting belligerent. The whole plane can hear him.
Really?
And
who does that?
Who does that? We could hear the pilot even considering kicking him off the plane.
Oh, I wish they had done that.
Yeah. So the girl who's disabled starts calling her ADA representative to try to mediate the situation a little bit.
Which it's sad that she even has to do that
Right,
in this day and
exactly.
age. Like, because I mean, if that had happened to me, if they had been like, I would have made the best of it and like been kind about it. Like, okay, sure, maybe you have a little less leg room or whatever, but he's even on the aisle. The dog's going to be on the bulkhead to the right of him.
on the window, yeah.
Yeah, and so he's got plenty of room. There's
Plenty of
no
room.
reason to pitch a fit. Now, if you were highly allergic to dogs, I could see going, look, I got a medical thing. I can't sit here.
No, he
Fine.
just didn't want to sit next to the dog. You could
That's
clearly hear
crazy.
it that he had purchased his seat and it wasn't next to a dog. So finally, we
She
waited.
purchased her seat and it wasn't next to a jerk.
So we waited at the gate for a long time. Our flight ended up being delayed about an hour. And finally, the ADA representative comes on the plane.
Oh, wow.
Takes the disabled woman and her dog, bumps them up to first class.
Yay! So that's good. Somebody got to go to first
Yes.
class, and then that guy got shamed by the entire plane.
What did he do?
I'm not sure. I didn't hear from him from then on.
That is so sad because my heart goes out to that woman.
Of course.
Like, that's embarrassing.
And the dog.
All the attention.
Yeah.
it's a sweet puppy.
Because you're right. Because then this guy is further adding humiliation onto her for
Yeah,
something
and
she
all
didn't
she
do.
wants to do is just get to where she needs to go.
I know.
And the
That's
dog was
crazy.
so, you wouldn't even know it was a dog.
Oh,
It just followed her
breaks my
around,
heart.
followed every command, like perfectly still.
I would have put the dog in first class if I was on the flight attendant. I would have put the dog in a seat, put a napkin around its neck, had the china for the dog to eat off of, taking pictures of it, and then taking it back to that guy and showed him. Yeah, the dog is living it up in first class. Behave yourself. Sit, boy, sit.
They say it's smart not to talk about religion or politics.
He's the logic vacuum.
Well, we've never been that smart. It's the Wally Show News.
And Becca's going to get you caught up right now. What's going on, Becca?
With the Iowa caucus coming up in less than a month, Donald Trump released his first TV commercial. And in true Trump fashion, it includes promises to cut the head of ISIS and take their oil and to build a wall on our southern border that Mexico will pay for.
Right.
And the ad shows what looks like Mexicans crossing the border. But according to experts, the border isn't the United States-Mexico border. It's the country of Morocco.
Oh, really?
So people are calling out that, this isn't even legit. And of course, he isn't fazed by this at all.
All it is a display of what it's going to look like and what our country looks like. That was just video footage. It's really merely a display of what a dumping ground is going to look like.
Yeah, so he's like, don't worry about the facts or, things like that. Just look over here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like if you're Trump, though, you have to be above reproach on everything because you're so polarizing. And so when you make these statements or you're doing this stuff, you've got to make sure that your facts are in line and that you're right. You know? So it'll be interesting. Again, this guy's still leading this thing, man. It's crazy. Against all my guesses, I would have lost every bet on this. I thought he'd be there for the first little bit, a couple months of this, flash in the pan and then done. But he really has proven that he's got the staying power to possibly win this thing. Yeah. I can't even tell you who else is in anymore. Carson, is he still around? Is he still in this thing?
Technically.
I don't hear anything from him.
Yeah.
Ted Cruz, he's had a little surge.
He's in it. Yeah. If you lived in Iowa or New Hampshire, you would be hearing from all these people.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
Yeah, they're really focused right now.
Yeah, because for us, it's like, oh, okay. Next.
Yeah. Old Navy had to remove a toddler t-shirt after it sparked some controversy. The shirt says young aspiring artist, but has the word artist crossed out and replaced with other professions like astronauts or presidents.
Oh, really? That's so funny. Like, who's mad about that?
People who are artists. People are frustrated that Old Navy
People who don't have jobs and have time to write complaint letters.
They're frustrated that Old Navy would suggest that there's something wrong with being an artist and crossing that profession out and picking another one.
Please be less sensitive about things, people. It's not a big deal. Now, this is somebody who's a father of a girl that wants to go into the arts, and her school is horrible about the arts. Like, it's all football, and it's just it's there's nothing left there at that school for us for like arts related stuff. It's sad. So we find other avenues for her to do the stuff that she wants to do, and so I respect the arts immensely, and she wants to work in them, and I think we should protect them, but not on an Old Navy t-shirt. That's not where you fight that battle.
All Old Navy has to do is say that those t-shirts are art.
It's
and
true.
that will shut them up immediately because they have to respect art.
An artist made him.
Yeah, you can't read into that too much. Yeah, exactly.
And finally, here's the latest update in the affluenza case. Ethan Couch is the teenager who killed 4 people while driving drunk, but was just given probation because his lawyers argued he had affluenza, meaning he was too rich to know any better.
A made-up thing that it's not a real disease, but the lawyer was a genius and got people to buy that junk, and the kid gets off scot-free.
With just probation. But last month, he violated that probation. He and his mother fled to Mexico. They've since been caught, and now the mom is in her first round of court today.
Good.
She could face up to 10 years in prison for hindering apprehension. And then he's still in Mexico. They're trying to get him back still. Basically, though, when he does eventually come back, the most he would get is 120 days.
See, that's not going to teach this kid a lesson. This kid needs to be in jail. This kid needs that rock bottom, shake you to your core wake-up call because his mom obviously isn't getting it to him. Mm-hmm. She helped him. I don't think she deserves 10 years in prison either for that. Like that, I don't think prison is for everyone, and every crime doesn't deserve prison. But this kid needs to go away and needs to grow up a little bit.
And sending the mom to prison for 10 years kind of teaches the kid, okay, well, mom and dad will take care of it no matter what.
Yeah, exactly.
Get off. But the good news is that if he does get this little jail time, it would then transfer his case to the adult system. Right now he's in the juvenile probation system. So if he messes up again, it'll be a much harder penalty.
Yeah, well, we'll see how that shakes out. This kid, for his own good, not even talking about justice and all this other stuff, but for this kid's own good, he doesn't need to keep getting away with things because that's how you get an adult that's messed up and then affects other people for the rest of their lives. This is the Wally Show with our 3 strikes game, and the way this works is Betty, Becca, and Zach will be playing as a team, but you will be rooting against them. You want them to fail because if they fail, you get a chance to win the game, okay? I have a top 10 list of things that cause office arguments, and all you guys have to do is get 5 answers right out of the top 10. There's 3 of you before you get 3 strikes. Get 3 strikes, you're out. and somebody else gets a chance to play, okay? So the things that bother people at work and cause arguments. Top 10 list. Let's start with you, Betty Rock, because you get the most annoyed at people at work.
Hey, that's not true. Office temperature.
Office temperature.
Good answer.
Thank you, guys. Thanks.
Because our studio is always the thermostat's always messed up. Zach has to change it every day.
Well, and it's not in the room, so
Yeah, go figure.
yeah. Anyway,
Well, Betty Rock, that is a fantastic answer. In fact, it is the number one answer.
Yeah!
Wow.
Come on, Zach, don't leave me hanging.
High five that. Nicely done. All right. Good job. Because before you walked in, Becca had asked if we could have an extra strike since you were playing today.
No,
And,
that was not.
that
Because
is
there's
what happened,
three
right,
of
Zach?
us playing.
yeah.
Wait, just say yes or no. Is that true?
Not because it was
Okay, so yes.
Yeah, it was true.
Wow.
I know.
Becca, I take my high five back.
Yeah, and you got the number one answer.
Take
So,
that, Becca.
Let's go to Becca now. Let's see how Becca can do. All right, Becca.
I'm
top
going to
10
say
list.
dirty dishes in the sink.
Dirty dishes in the sink. That is a good one
It's
because
very specific.
because people here do that all the time.
Could we go with cleaning?
No, we're gonna go with dirty dishes
I'm just
in
saying
the
that's
sink.
very specific.
You're going with
Some
kitchen
offices don't
cleanliness.
have. Yeah.
That's
No.
what she.
That's what she wants,
said.
but that's not her answer. That is
Stop it.
dirty dishes in the sink,
Stop,
which
see?
happens
No,
to
no, no,
be
no, 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 no.
wrong.
Come on. It's just
wrong.
it's just a specific one that's of something else that's already on there. You're not giving
Dirty
me.
dishes in the sink is a strike. That is one strike.
No, it's not a strike. It's just, I'm taking it off.
You have
0 strikes.
2 more strikes to go.
Nope, we have 3 more strikes to go.
And no, it doesn't work that way. No, there's not. That's not even close to anything else on here.
Well, it's a dumb list.
Yes. Okay. There you
Play the
go.
Zach
You're
card.
playing
There
like
you
me.
go. Exactly. All right. So Zach, what do you think?
And what's the category? Like
Top 10 things that cause office arguments.
office arguments. This is a stretch, but I'm gonna go with scents.
Scents.
So like candles, incense, perfume, too strong.
Colognes.
Colognes too strong.
That is a really good one.
Yeah, it is.
That is a really, really good
It's
one.
not on there.
It's not on there.
What?
Oh, 2 strikes. Oh, no, and it comes back to Betty Rock. We'll see if Betty Rock can single-handedly save this
I'll
thing.
just carry the team, guys.
I know. That's what you're going to do.
That's why we needed 4 strikes.
Yeah.
Not for you.
So back to you, Betty Rock. But this is the final strike. So what do you think is one of the things that causes arguments in the office?
I'm going to say refrigerator etiquette.
Refrigerator etiquette. Okay.
Pretty good answer.
That is a good
Okay,
answer.
you know what? Let me see. I'm looking. I am going to give that to you.
What?
Yes, I am.
Really?
Yeah, Zach, you hear Zach go, he thinks I play the game much harder on him.
You do.
I
and
don't.
Becca.
No, I don't. Do you not agree that people stealing food from the fridge would be refrigerator etiquette? I can take it away from it.
I would give it. I would give it.
Okay,
But
okay.
I would have given some of the other ones too.
No, you would. No, you would not. No. So good job, Betty Rock. Nicely
Thank
done.
you.
All right, Becca. Here we go.
I
Up
bet
to
you're going
you.
to get this wrong, Becca.
What?
Not because you're going to get it wrong. I
Because of
bet
me.
He's going to call it wrong.
Let's see. Oh, I bet Becca might get one.
Now he has to prove me
No,
wrong.
yeah,
He can't give
exactly.
it right.
I'm going to say messy workspace.
Messy workspace.
answer.
That is a really good answer. I'm looking. Yes. Actually. Congratulations. Right on the money. Right on the money
Right
she
on
got
the
that
money.
one.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. So there you go,
Yeah, that
Zach.
took that long.
Down to you. There's a long list. There's 10. I got to look at them all.
Yeah.
And I got to make sure.
I'm going to
'Cause
go
accuracy's
with
important.
music. The choice or the volume.
Ooh, good
Music
answer.
in the
Yeah.
office. You really think that's a good answer?
I heard some
You're not
Justin
gonna give it to
Bieber
me,
blaring
but
the
yeah,
other day
that's a good
around
answer.
here.
Let me
In
see.
Zach's office.
No.
Maybe.
Yeah, no. It's going to be a strike.
Hogging.
Yeah.
Strike 3!
No!
Strike 3! There's
Yeah,
nothing music.
I'm sure there's not. It's
There's
a very valid
nothing-
list that you're not monkeying with at
There's
all.
nothing music related on here.
I bet it
believe you.
says something like the songs people listen to.
No.
I bet that's what it is.
No, there's nothing music related on
I'm
here.
sure there's not.
I will
Yeah.
go through the whole list when our person wins this thing. So now that the game shifts over to you, where they have failed to get this right, they have only gotten 3 out of 10. That's 7 answers left. Things that cause arguments in the office. And so if you can get just
Is
one of
fairness
these
in
right-
games one of the things?
No, once again, wrong again, Zach.
Zach, stop guessing. cheating.
It's more important in this game that Wally likes you than that you guess something correctly or incorrectly. So
No, that is incorrect again.
make him like you and just take a wild guess.
Another failed statement. So if you want to play the game, 877-91-WALLY. Zach is going to be angry about one because he said,
of course,
scents like candles and things like that stink up the office. What was the other thing you said? Perfume?
I gave examples.
Yeah, and so he thinks that one of the questions, there's an answer that's similar to that on here, and he thinks that I have somehow besmirched him.
You would do that?
No,
yes.
I would never do that once again. All right, so 877-91-WALLY. If you think you have an answer and you want to play our game, you can play right now. This is the Wally Show, and it's our 3 strikes game. Zach, Becca, and Betty have struck out, which means you get a chance to play our game right now. Who's this?
It's Kimberly. Hi, Wally.
Hey, Kimberly. So it's the top 10 list of things that cause arguments in the office. Zach says that I am very tight on his answers, and I kind of am not fair. So I am going to attempt to prove how fair I am here by not giving you any leniency whatsoever, Kimberly. And you can thank Zach for that.
Okay.
So what do you think made this list?
Okay, my answer is vacation time. Sort of like someone's always taking off Fridays, so I can never get a Friday off.
Oh, that is a good one.
Good
That
answer.
definitely can cause problems. That's a great answer.
Yeah.
But Zach, you'll be happy to know it did not make the list.
Wow.
No, not on there. I can't believe that.
And see, Zach, I was going to give you my answer. Sorry about that.
Well, I am so sorry that's not on there today.
Okay, good luck to everyone.
All right, girl, thank you.
Bye.
Hey, it's the Wally Show. Who's this?
Daphne.
All right, Daphne. So now no one has been able to finally get something on this list after Becca and Zach and Betty struck out. So what do you think? Top 10 things that cause office arguments.
They drink all the coffee and they don't make any more.
Oh, or making bad coffee, the kind that nobody likes. Do you like that answer, Zach?
Yeah, I think for some reason in our office people don't drink coffee, but I think in most offices they do, and that's an issue.
It's a big deal.
I think that's a good answer.
All we have is a Keurig.
Huge deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, congratulations there, Daphne. You got it right, the number 5 answer.
Stop.
Stop is right. You're right. You got it.
He gave you one?
He must like you.
Yeah.
You guys are so bitter.
Wally must like me.
I do like you. I like you.
See, favoritism.
Yep.
She knows it.
Some of the other things that made the list were like hogging shared office spaces and workspaces, keeping the blinds open or closed, like lighting the office, controlling the office lighting, talking too loud when other people are on the phone, messing around while people are trying to work. I'm surprised you guys didn't get these because we do a lot of these. Yeah, me. Someone eating food that smells. Food that smells.
That's sense.
Zach said smells.
Zach
totally-
said sense, but he did.
Yes.
But his examples were.
But he gave examples.
Yeah, but they had nothing to do with
But he
making
said-
food that stinks.
But the main answer
things that smell.
Yes. Yes. So apparently games cause office arguments
Yes.
as well.
These games cause off. Yes.
Or people that are
Cheating
just
it.
way too uptight. All right, so congratulations. You are the big winner today.
Yay!
Come out, come out, come out, you pretty kitten.
This is the Wally Show, and one of the things we do from time to time is help people out with naming their cats, because you may not know this, but Betty Rock has a God-given gift to name a cat within a split second by just seeing a picture of it. It's amazing the skill that you possess, and
Thank you.
we've had other people try, and they can't even remotely come close to you.
Thank you.
So you always like a little bit of information. This one is from Sarah. Sarah is this girl that's battling cancer, and she's the sweetest thing in the world, and she got this cat, kind of a therapy cat for her, and she had already named it, but she was like, I'm curious what Betty Rock would name this cat. It is a blue tabby Scottish fold. Okay, and they got
Sounds
her-
fancy.
I know, it is fancy. So I'm going to send you the cat, or I'm going to give you the picture of the cat. Here, you hold on to this there, Becca, and on the count of 3,
Oh, I got nothing. I'm scared.
you will name that cat. No, it will become obvious to you. It always
Wait,
is.
do we know gender?
Don't let people get, it's a she.
It's a she.
Don't let people get in your head, okay? You
Okay.
just, on the count of 3, name that cat. 3, 2, 1, name that cat. This is taking longer than normal.
Emily.
Oh, okay, Emily. She does look like Emily from The Bachelor, like
She's
from years ago.
very fancy.
She is very fancy.
So usually I'm not good at being fancy.
Oh, it took you a second. Yeah.
I'm disappointed in myself.
Are
But what
you?
did she name her?
What did she name her? She named her. Let me see. I'm looking. I'll have to find it. I can't find it right now. Oh, she named her Sasha Yzma. Yzma from The Emperor's New Groove.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sasha Yzma.
Sasha works. Mm-hmm. It's a lot more fancy than Emily.
Yeah. Maybe because this cat already had a name, it threw you off.
Maybe that's it.
And you kind of sensed it.
Yeah, she just kind of knows.
Yeah.
She knows the cat down in her soul.
Yeah.
And so why give
and
it
it's
another
already
name?
got a name. It's like,
So there's something just telling you it doesn't need my work.
Right.
Okay, well, here's what we're going to do. I think Emily is a cute name for that cat,
Thank
though.
you.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. We have another guy that sent in a picture of a cat. Says, I'm in need of Betty's cat naming abilities. This cat came to us a few weeks ago, and we decided to keep it, but we're not sure what to name it. We're getting it shots, getting it fixed, all that good stuff. But we definitely need a name. It's a cat. I don't want to tell you what they've been batting around that hasn't worked for them because I don't want to influence you.
Is it a boy or a girl?
It's a she. Okay, so just hold that over there on the count of 3. Betty Rock. 3, 2, 1. Name that cat.
Miss Kitty.
Miss Kitty! Wow. Zach just did a face. Oh, Zach, you're going to wreck her.
I'm not saying anything.
You're going to wreck her.
She called herself out on the last one.
I know, but you
I'm not saying it, but Miss Kitty.
Doesn't this one look like a Miss Kitty?
Yes, it looks like a kitty. I mean,
yeah, like every cat looks like a Miss Kitty. He's like, Zach, when you name the cat.
I don't want to play this game anymore. No.
When you name the cat, you couldn't see it. Zach goes like this. He goes.
like if you ever have a baby, it's gonna come out and you'll be like, Mr. Boy.
Yeah.
There are people that call their little boys Guy.
Yeah.
So are you saying that Guy is an unfortunate name?
French? Sure. Did you just say the French?
Yeah, that's a French name.
Oh, okay. Guy. Really?
Yeah. Anyway.
You're very judgmental, Zach, and I don't appreciate it.
I'm just saying.
So are you going to be more creative than Anna?
Yeah. What kind of name is Anna?
Yeah,
my
we should
grandmother's name.
We should let Betty name your next kid.
Oh, yes.
That's what we'll do.
These are the least important stories out of Hollywood, but nonetheless entertaining. It's the least of these.
And Betty Rock is going to break it down for you. Miss Rock, what do you got today?
Well, we all know Carrie Underwood could
sing a phone book.
I mean, she's amazing.
Yeah, she has an amazing voice.
But her husband may not have the same capability. I guess
hasn't rubbed off?
No. So they were driving somewhere, and I don't even know. I can't tell if he knew it or not, but she was filming him.
That's awesome.
So grabbed some of the audio.
He's a hockey player, too, Mike Fisher.
He's not a singer, and he's never tried to be.
Really? Well, let's see how he does.
These waters are my sky. I'll never reach my destination.
It's a Garth Brooks song.
If I never tried, so I will share my destiny.
You're ruining it.
Sorry.
Stop singing.
Sorry.
We're
Sorry, I can't help
supposed to hear
it.
him.
Well,
not
I know.
you.
That's a great song. That's a good Garth Brooks song. Well, I didn't think he was that bad, actually.
That's close enough they could fix in a studio.
Yeah, that's impressive for a guy that's not a singer and a hockey player.
How do they not do a duet?
Seriously.
And then they could do a tour on ice.
Oh my
He could sing and she could skate. That would be fantastic.
I would pay money to see that.
Yes.
I would see that. That's a great idea, Zach.
Oh my goodness. The pressures of being the perfect size actress in Hollywood has to be tough. Ashley Benson reminded us of this fact. In a recent interview she said that she was turned down for a part because she was too fat. Now, keep in mind that she wears a size 2.
Really? Was she really told she was too fat?
They turned her down for the role.
I know, but was she told, okay, you're too heavy for this role? And what role was it? As
They
a
don't
size
say.
2?
Yeah.
That's insane.
I know, but she said she cried for about 30 minutes and just let it roll off her shoulders. Because, I mean, there are some actresses that really get caught up in this and then they end up with
eating disorders and all that craziness.
And so
just
it's good
keep
that she's
working.
letting it roll off and just going with the punches.
I have heard this from other actresses where they'll post a picture of what was considered too fat or whatever, and I'm like, where's the fat? Show
Anne
it to me.
Hathaway, I think, was one of those.
Oh, really?
She's beautiful.
And she's tiny too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Anne Hathaway is pregnant now,
Yes,
right?
she is.
Yeah, so she's having a baby. So not tiny anymore. What? That's natural.
can't say it.
Why? Because you
You're right.
know what you're saying.
What?
You know what you're saying.
I
Because you
was-
look at your face.
You didn't
and
let
you
me
know,
finish.
You
You
look guilty.
you didn't let me
know,
finish.
You want to push that
I was
button. You want
saying-
to poke the bear. Poke the bear.
No,
poke the
I was
bear.
saying she's not that stereotypical Hollywood tiny anymore, but she looks amazing in her motherly glow. Didn't
What's
let
your
me
next
finish.
story?
Okay. Fandango recently conducted a poll to find which movies people are most excited for in 2016. Number one was the new Star Wars story.
Oh, another Star Wars story?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's not coming out, though, for another year.
And this isn't episode 8. Let's get that clear. This is a side
yes.
story.
Let's completely
What?
nerd out on this for a
What's
second.
a side story? What does
It's
that
like-
mean?
Is it about the Ewoks?
No, I wish. No, it's called the Rogue One, but the episode 8 won't be out until the following March.
So why are we hearing this other story then?
I think this is something I can't remember for sure, but it might take place between the gap in the trilogy. I'm not
I'm
sure.
so confused.
I
They
can't
jump
remember.
around so much. And just do it from start to finish, and I would have been happy. But it's like the first one we saw was actually number 4, and I don't know. And the new one is
Yeah.
It's whatever.
It's
I don't know. Y'all lost me a long time
Nothing
ago.
can impress Wally.
Yes. It's
Number 2 on the list was Finding Dory, which is a spinoff of Finding Nemo. I can't wait for that
me
one.
too. I'll
That'll
see
be
that.
a good
That's
one.
going to be
No, that'll be fantastic.
And then number 3 was Batman versus Superman.
That will
Dawn
be
of
horrible.
Justice.
That is a horrible idea. Who thinks that is a good idea for Batman and Superman to fight? We've all wondered what would happen, what would it look like? But
They're
that's
on
dumb.
the same team.
Exactly.
What are they fighting about?
And one of them thinks the other one is bad. So you're a superhero and you're that dumb. Come on, that's ridiculous. That's a waste of time.
Other movies on the list: Captain America, Civil War, Star Trek Beyond, Independence Day, X-Men, Zoolander 2.
There you go.
And The Jungle Book.
Oh no, I wouldn't wait for that one. But Zoolander 2 could be. That won't be good.
The trailer is going to be really funny.
Yeah, and that'll be all that's funny in that movie. So, all right, well, there you go. That is your least of these for today. Thank you, Miss Rock. This is the Wally Show, and I get emails every day from people kind of looking for some advice and some different perspective, possibly. And here's one that maybe you can help out with. She says, my parents divorced when I was 3. My mom had sole custody of me, and I don't remember my father. I remember my mom was having a tough time making ends meet when I was 7 years old, and I was sent to spend the summer with my aunt and uncle. And at the end of the summer, my mom wrote a letter saying she didn't want me anymore. As you can imagine, I was heartbroken, and I didn't understand why my mom would treat me this way. The pain from my mom's abandonment morphed into pure hatred towards her that I carried every day with me. Over the past year, I've asked God to help me forgive my mother. The hate was really weighing me down, and I just wanted to be free. So if you flash forward a little bit in this story, she's 37 years old now and still dealing with this, and she did some digging, gets to meet her mom face to face, finds out where she's at, goes to meet her, and it doesn't turn out like a Hallmark moment. The mom wouldn't even answer the door, so she feared the mom could be hurt. So they called the police. Turns out she was in there the whole time, just didn't want to see her. And so this lady ends up saying what she wanted to say to her mom through the door, basically, and then leaving with no closure. She said, I ended up saying what I had to say through the door, and I wanted to know why she left. Because I do remember that she loved me at one time. I thought a weight would be lifted off my shoulder, but I couldn't be more wrong. Since then, I've descended into a deep depression. I would have been satisfied if she told me that she didn't want a relationship with me, but to never even open the door was far worse. So what do you think? So she was kind of looking to people that maybe have been in that situation before, and how do you handle that? What do you do with that when you're trying to extend some sort of love and grace and forgiveness to somebody who is supposed to love you, but for whatever reason isn't capable of that? How, even as an adult, do you process that, and what do you do with that? So if you have some thoughts on this, I'd love to hear it if you got a perspective. 877-91-WALLY is the number. Maybe sadly you've been in a similar situation before and you are uniquely qualified to speak into this. I'd love to hear from you. 877-91-WALLY is the number if you got a thought. So what would you say? What would your advice be?
Honestly, I've been through kind of the same thing with my mother, and something that I really had to deal with was the fact that I may never get an apology or anything that I would really want from my mom. And honestly, just through strength with God, I've just really tried to accept that, and I've told her that I forgive her for myself so I can move on from that situation, and I've tried to accept the fact that I may never get an apology or any closure at all, really.
Yeah, I think there can still be forgiveness even if there isn't reconciliation, because it can be one-sided. You can forgive somebody one-sidedly, and that's okay because that frees you up. You're giving up your right to be angry anymore, and you're giving up the control that this has in your life to say, it's okay. I'm going to be okay with you. Even if you're not the picture of the mother I always wanted, I'm still going to be okay, and I'm still going to find a way to love you. That's healing in it for you in that place.
Absolutely. And just saying to her, even if she doesn't want to hear it, I forgive you, and I'm ready to have a relationship whenever you are.
That could be the thing that frees the mom from her guilt.
She could be dealing with many years of shame, and not opening the door wasn't a choice to keep the daughter out. It was just her own shame keeping her from opening the door.
And just giving her that out even might be the thing that starts that healing process for both of them.
Absolutely.
Do you have any advice for this lady, how to, kind of process all this?
Yeah, my mother, she dealt with a lifetime of addictions, and she came from a pretty troubled past. And as soon as she was able, she left me and my brother. And,
oh, wow.
And she's really, she's never apologized. I never got the, satisfaction of that. And she's still, the mental capacity and the emotional maturity of a 16-year-old. And the lady who's called in about this or wrote in about this, I'm the same age as she is. So I have a family of my own now. And the way I've dealt with it is just to look at it as a disability. She's emotionally disabled. And just like anyone with any kind of disability, you can't hold it against them. It's just she's not capable of more. She'll never be capable of more. And it's nothing that I'll be able to change.
Yeah, and the more you seek something from her that she can't give you, the more frustrating that becomes for you.
Right. I just can't expect anything of her. Once I had a family of my own and have a good husband and beautiful children, and I told my mother-in-law that I said, at this point in my life, I just always thought that I would share this with my mother. These are milestones. Growing up as a kid, I thought that I would share with my mother. And she looked over at me and she said, "Do you think that I could be enough?"
Oh, wow.
And it's forever stuck with me because, I do. I'm blessed with a great mother-in-law, and God just kind of works things out,
This is the Wally Show. Now, Mike, I appreciate you calling to help this lady out who, was abandoned by her mom as a kid, went to see her as an adult, and it didn't go the way she thought it was going to be. It wasn't a Hallmark moment. The mom refused to see her, and she's just devastated by this and can't move past this. Do you have any advice?
Yes, absolutely. Whatever issues she has with her mother, those issues are her mother's issues and not hers to deal with. I think that the fact that she tried to reach out to her mother is great. It's biblical, but it's not her problem to solve.
That was one of the things that I kind of told her. It's like, if this person is incapable of loving you for whatever reason, for you to continue to try to get that from them is only going to frustrate you more. And so you're going to have to find a different way to love them, or find a different way of what's getting love in return from them, because it's not going to look normal, because for whatever reason this mom is broken right now, and so the only way to help her probably is to pray for this woman and to love her unconditionally, and maybe that's something that can start the healing process for this relationship. This is the Wally Show, and I appreciate you helping out today, Chelsea. This lady who was abandoned by her mom as a kid, and then went to meet her years later as an adult, and it didn't have that hallmark ending. The mom refused to see her, and she's just spiraling down now in this world of depression. So, what advice would you give?
Well, coming from both ends of I have a perspective from both ends. Same thing with my mom, lots of drug addictions and men, but I ended up following her footsteps, getting pregnant when I was 16 with my son, and somebody else raised him basically because I was living in sin still. I was not saved yet. So the devil had a field day with me, but all the guilt, all the shame, I loved my son, but I was so wrapped up in the guilt and the shame, and it's hard to face.
What enabled you to go back and lay down your own pride and humble yourself and your own shame to reconcile with your son?
God. That's really what it was. It was like, okay, you have a choice. You can be like her, or you can let me help you, let me change you and change your life. You don't have to be like that. And I'm not. My son's wonderful. He's a straight A student. We have a wonderful, relationship, and he's my bud.
I think that's good because that can give her hope too, that God can change things, and he can change people that maybe in her mind don't seem changeable at this moment. But there are redemptive stories that play out every day when we allow God into our lives. And I really appreciate you taking the time today. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, no, thank you. Okay, well, and I'm praying for her.
Well, surprise, surprise, she's still here. This is the postcast here.
She was scared to leave.
Who stuck around for 2 extra days of Christmas vacation to work here when none of you were
did.
maybe
You
I
did.
earned this.
How do we know that, though?
That's true, because we were all gone.
Ask anybody else.
And you told
I
me
was
to
the only
leave.
one here.
I'm confused.
I did, because I'm a good person.
Yeah, we finally got Betty to take vacation days. Betty always has vacation days to
It's because I
burn.
never know. Never mind.
No, what? What is it?
No, it's. There's no point to even me saying what I was going to say.
Say it.
No,
Say
because
it.
it just brings up other things
No,
too.
say
And
it.
it's
She
like, I
likes
don't
work
even-
so much and misses it when she's
I
gone.
love work so much that I don't want to miss it. So when I do, I cry myself to sleep.
Oh, really? Well, why don't you vacation with us then? We could go on vacations together. You could go with me on one, with Zach on
He's
one.
going to London.
I
You're
am
going to pay
going to
for her
London.
London trip?
I'd take her.
You pay for her?
No.
Oh, then I'm not going.
Yeah, you could go with us, though.
No.
Okay, it's fun.
Sounds like torture.
Really?
You could be a nanny for Anna.
Yeah.
Here? Or in Ohio?
No, on a vacation.
Oh.
Yeah, that'd be fun. All right.
Wisely using my time.
There
You can't
go.
come with us, sorry.
I don't want
She
to.
will never use vacation time again.
Yeah. All right, that's going to have to do it for the old podcast there. And as always, thank you for being a potty.